You talked about how to win being a component of strategy. Now, bringing us back to LG and our competitive space,
Yeah.
right? We have impressive competitors,
Yep.
fantastic technology, fantastic brands, fantastic processes, right? Truly global businesses. And again, going back to what we discussed earlier, coming with the embedded advantage of country of origin, being European, American, etc. So, how do we use brand as a right now it's a seeming disadvantage. We are we have the negative connotations of being an Indian company and the quality implications that come with it. But how do we move into that honestly becoming a competitive advantage for us?
Yeah, this is our starting point. Our starting point is not the one that we prefer to be in, but that's the reality. So it's a given. Yeah. But I don't think it's an insurmountable given. There is enough lessons in history uh, that that are exemplary brand journeys, starting from where we are starting now, but ending up to be the best in the world, right? One classic example that everyone talks about is Toyota, right? Now, when the Japanese cars were entering in the US in the late 70s, cars were not respected. They were considered cheap cars, uh, cheap, and oh, it is made in Japan. I remember when I was a child, when my father bought me a toy which said made in Japan, I used to think that he has done me a huge injustice. Yeah,
And now it's all made in China.
sure, but today made in Japan has a different characteristic,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So you look at that brand evolution, right? They started where we are starting, but they've reached now Toyota's number two. I mean, they were number one. I think in numbers, they've kind of dropped a little bit, but nobody will dispute the fact if you want a reliable car, buy a Toyota, right?
True.
That's from starting from a reputation of saying not reliable, cheap cars to this. And it's been a journey of about 30 odd years. Yeah. Now, will we be able to achieve that in 10 years? No. But in 35 years, Toyota grew from strength to strength to strength, right? What is that journey? What is that brand journey? It's not about advertising. For me, advertising is a communication of one small part of your company, which is your logo and your brand position. It's just communication. But brand for me is consistency and experience of everybody who touches your company, right? Not just the customer, the employee, the supplier. If you say this is what we are this great company, and the supplier is meant to wait for 2 hours before he gets his job done in the company, I think a very bad brand. If somebody calls your company and the phone doesn't get picked up, it's a very bad brand. You may have sponsored the IPL. Everybody knows LG, right? But they know LG for all the wrong reasons. Bad experience, right? So it's about managing every stakeholder's touch with the company. It doesn't have to be positive. It's about managing that experience. You may have a customer who's having a bad experience with your product. Bad experiences are part of life, but how you handle it is your brand. Yeah,
So it can actually end up adding to your brand equity.
absolutely. A negative experience can add so much more to your brand than just a positive experience. It's how you handle it. It's how that customer and that stakeholder experiences you. Yeah, and it comes from fundamental genuineness. It's not about fancy process, brochures. Sure, those are important, yeah, but they don't make brands. The genuineness of the company and all the people working in the company towards the stakeholders, that's the brand. So we need to build out brand on all these dimensions. Besides, of course, the brand positioning, the advertising, the social media management, all that stuff. But for me, those are all the veneer.
Mhm.
The real strength is in the experience.